In the heart of the city, where the skyscrapers pierced the sky and the streets hummed with energy, there lived a young street artist named Luna. She was known for her bold and vibrant stencils that seemed to leap off the walls, like a reflection of the city's own spirit. But what made Luna's art truly unique was its ability to interact with the city's dreams. Luna had always been fascinated by the concept of dreams. As a child, she would spend hours gazing up at the stars, wondering what secrets they held. She believed that our dreams were a window into our collective subconscious, and that by tapping into them, we could unlock the hidden potential of our minds. As Luna grew older, her fascination with dreams only deepened. She began to study the art of dream interpretation, poring over books and attending workshops on the subject. But it wasn't until she discovered street art that her true passion was ignited. There was something about the raw energy of the streets, the way that paint could transform a dull wall into a vibrant work of art, that spoke to Luna's soul. She spent hours perfecting her craft, honing her skills and experimenting with different techniques. And then, one day, it happened. Luna created a stencil of a great winged beast, its wings spread wide as it soared through the skies. As she applied the paint to the wall, she felt an electric tingle run down her spine. When the ink dried, the beast was gone, but in its place stood a small, shimmering bird. The bird was no bigger than Luna's thumb, and yet it seemed to radiate a light that filled the entire room. As she watched, the bird began to flutter its wings, creating a whirlwind of dust and color that swirled around her. Luna knew, in that moment, that something had shifted inside her. She realized that her stencils weren't just images on paper. They were keys to unlocking the city's own dreams. Over the next few weeks, Luna continued to create her street art, each piece more vibrant and alive than the last. And as she worked, she began to notice something strange happening. The city itself seemed to be responding to her art. People would stop in their tracks as they walked down the street, mesmerized by the colors and patterns that danced across the walls. They would stare up at Luna's stencils, their eyes shining with wonder. And sometimes, on nights when the moon was full, Luna could swear she saw the city itself come to life. It started with small things. A child might wake up in the middle of the night, crying out for her mother as a great winged creature soared overhead. An elderly woman might stumble upon a street performer juggling fire and laughing like a fool, when in reality, it was just Luna's stencil on the wall that was alive. But as time went on, the dreams grew bolder and more vivid. A group of teenagers might gather around a particularly striking stencil, their eyes glowing with an otherworldly energy as they watched a cityscape unfold before them. An office worker might stumble upon a mural that seemed to shift and change as she gazed at it, until finally, the entire building was revealed in all its glory. Luna knew that she had stumbled into something much bigger than herself. She was no longer just a street artist, she was a conduit for the city's own dreams. As word of her abilities spread, people began to seek out Luna's stencils like a pilgrimage. They would leave offerings of flowers and candles at the base of her art, hoping to catch a glimpse of what lay beyond the veil of reality. And Luna, with her wild hair and her paint-stained hands, would smile knowingly as she watched them. For in that moment, she was no longer just an artist. She was a guide, leading people on a journey through the hidden realms of their own minds. Years went by, and Luna's art continued to evolve. She created stencils that seemed to defy gravity, floating above the ground like ethereal birds. Others depicted fantastical landscapes, full of towering trees and shimmering waterfalls. And yet, no matter how grand or elaborate her creations became, they always seemed to tap into something deeper, a sense of longing and wonder that lay at the heart of the city itself. For Luna had come to realize that her art was never just about creating images on paper. It was about tapping into the collective unconscious, revealing the hidden patterns and symbols that shaped our shared reality. And as she worked, she knew that she was no longer just an artist. She was a part of something much greater than herself. She was a dreamer, weaver of realities. She was Luna, the street artist who brought the city's dreams to life.